I like to try and be a gentleman, especially you look very elegant, very beautiful and sophisticated and classy.
All for you.
Well, I thank you very much indeed, but it wouldn't fit me.
Just an option.
No, it's very lovely in your shoes. My goodness, they're lovely knobbly bits on them.
Yeah.
So notice what Craig is doing right now. He always does this in almost every interview, and I've watched probably hundreds of interviews with Craig Ferguson, and he always compliments his guest somehow. He always tries to make that person feel good. If it's with a woman, he's usually doing it in a way where he's expressing his attraction right off the bat. This gets the interaction set on the right path.
I was hoping you would not mention my feet, considering I wear, like, the largest size possible. So I
No. I've seen larger sizes in a high-heeled shoe than that.
Are you sure? Size 11?
Oh,
no,
yes.
no, not the height of the heel, my actual feet though, like a size 11.
Well, that's good.
Very rare.
I'm a
Sasquatch has the same feet.
No,
Bigfoot.
Do you have big feet?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean, so in high winds, you're like, no problem.
Yeah.
So what he did right there is he took an insecurity that she had and he tried to flip it into a positive way. Now, what most people are taught, especially men, is when a woman shows an insecurity that she has, put it down, tease her for it. In the moment, that may make you feel cool, and it may make her look like she is like more attracted to you, like, oh, you're so bad. But ultimately, what is going to happen is she is going to hide herself more. She's going to put up more walls, not show you her vulnerabilities, her insecurities later on. This hurts the interaction and your ability to have chemistry with that person because it won't get them opening up where you'll be able to show your specific interest and attraction in them, which will escalate the relationship to a better place. Craig knows every time he is putting somebody down on their weakness, he is hurting the potential connection between the two of them.
We had to do all sorts of fun things, like besides milking the cows, which was a fun task in and of itself.
Did you use the electric milkers?
Yeah, but you have to wash them and put salve on their udder during the winters, and you.
I'm trying not to be weird about this, and it's really hard.
It's like our first date. I probably shouldn't tell you these things.
No, but you rub the udders?
Yeah. And you help cows give birth and all sorts of fun.
How do you help them give birth? Like drive them to the hospital or something?
I wish it was that nice. No, you normally have to like...
So what Craig did right there is called an assumptive question. It's when you ask something with an assumption planted in it. This makes it so much easier for the person that's getting asked the question to answer the question. Craig does this a lot, so when it pops up in other parts of the video, we'll talk about it.
I was going to Texas Christian University.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Are you a Texas Christian?
Wow, we're already talking about religion.
No.
We should go to politics next.
No, we're not.
No,
talking about
I only went there for a year and a half. I never finished.
So,
but yeah, I came out.
So you're a Satanist then?
Yeah, yes, exactly. 100%.
Oh, stop. So you were studying, was it creative writing?
Journalism.
Really?
Yeah.
There's none of that left anymore, you know.
No.
Nah, it's just horses' asses saying whatever they like. Nah, it's true. I think back in the day, you know, when they had editors and stuff, it was very rare to find a good job.
Now, I'm just watching this and I could tell that Chantel is pretty nervous and she's really trying to put on a good side for Craig. She's basically trying to show that she's well-behaved and a really nice person, and she's just trying to do really well. This is probably one of the first TV interviews she's ever done. She doesn't look very relaxed, and usually Craig is able to crack somebody instantly with his personality, with his vibe, with able to getting the person to open up by asking right questions and being playful about it. Chantel here is still a little bit tightened up. Now, I think Craig is noticing this and he's just allowing the conversation to go as it will. Sometimes he's in the mood to go crazy, but I think he's feeling that she's a little uncomfortable. She's feeling a little nervous, not uncomfortable with Craig, but just nervous to be on TV. And I think he's just kind of allowing her to kind of relax rather than working on her getting to open up.
That would be great.
Well, anyway, we're out of time.
Okay.
So how do you want to end this? Awkward pause, bit of meditation, want to throw frisbees at my horse? That's
awkward.
not code.
Let's do an awkward pause.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, whoa!
I thought it was like it's not a moment?
No, it's not an awkward pause. That's an awesome pause. That's a completely different thing.
I thought it was that kind of moment.
No, that's not awkward. Oh, let's get a little awkward now, I guess.
Wonderful.
You would never have lasted at the Texas Christian University.
My mom's gonna be really really disappointed.
you're only...
So what Craig does, and he does this in a lot of interviews, is he always is throwing in some sexuality in there. Just a little light flirting. Why? It's not because he's trying to be sexual with her. It's literally just part of his personality, as it is everybody, and it's a part of his personality that he doesn't hide. He doesn't hold back with people when he feels attraction. Okay, that interview was pretty boring. Chantel is obviously pretty nervous to be on TV, so it wasn't the best interaction. Let's go on to Jess McCallan.
Jess McCallan, everybody, Jess McCallan.
So already what he's doing is he's being playful from the start. They're kind of doing these poses, acting like, I don't know, superheroes for no reason. What they are doing is they are creating the dynamic for each other before the interaction begins. Most people on first dates or when they meet or when they're flirting with each other, they don't do this. They try to be as well behaved as possible, kind of like Chantel was doing because she was so nervous. But when you break the ice as soon as possible when you go on a date, it enables the two of you to see if you have chemistry so much earlier on. So you could get past that first like hour or two where you guys are kind of just like finding your vibe. Break the ice right at the beginning.
Hi.
You look nice. Wow, I love your shoes.
Thank you.
They're sensational.
I wore these for you. They're mine.
What do you mean you wore them for me?
Because I know you're a shoe guy.
Well, am I a shoe guy?
I don't know.
Is that what
Are
the
you a
actresses
shoe
are saying? He's a shoe
They
guy.
are.
It's kind of
They-
weird.
Totally. My friends are like, no, it's a good thing.
Is it?
They're like, he'll notice your shoes. Because men very rarely notice the shoes unless they...
Unless what, they want something? Are you implying that I'm after something? Because I am.
Well, okay.
Once again, Craig loves to do a lot of role playing, playing little baby characters here and there. All he's doing is he's telling his guests, this is how you're supposed to be with me. This is how interactions go with me. This is how I want you to act as well. I'm pulling that fun, childish side out of you. And people want to feel like this. People want to interact with others like this on a first date or in any other interaction. It's just everybody is so used to staying normal and socially acceptable, not to come off rude or too weird or whatever. Craig doesn't care about any of that, so he just goes crazy. No, it's not crazy to the point where he doesn't even engage with his guest. One of the 9 marks of being charming is actually to engage with the person in front of you, to actually acknowledge them the whole time during the interaction. If you're ever saying or doing something that has nothing to do with acknowledging them, interacting with them, building the connection between you two, then it's a waste of time. So for you to just entertain or be charismatic for no reason, just in hopes that they'll be attracted to you, it's a waste of time. I want you to only be charismatic when it has to do with building the chemistry, building that improv scene between the two of you.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Florida, actually.
Which part?
There's a little kind of city called Sarasota on the
I think
Gulf.
I've been there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think I did a stand-up there once. Is there a place there?
Yeah, it's called Sarasota.
What Craig often does is he asks assumptive questions. He usually asks assumptive questions that are not true or something that the person cannot confirm. What this does is it enables that person that's getting asked to clarify themselves. So even him just going, is there a place there? Which a lot of people would go, oh my God, I could never say that. For him, he knows 1, it's being playful, so it ups the playfulness between the two of them. And 2, it allows her to actually say what is in Sarasota. Now, if you ask an open-ended question, which is what most people think is a good way to communicate with somebody, it's actually bad. Now, I'm not saying never ask an open-ended question. You could do it a lot, but it's more fun and it's actually more effective to ask closed-ended, or what I call assumptive questions, because what that does is it sparks somebody's imagination and it allows them to want to tell you the truth of what their experience was. When you ask an open-ended question, it tends to overwhelm the person. So say, tell me the best thing you saw at Sarasota, or tell me your favorite thing to do at Sarasota. What happens is when you ask some big question like that, it kind of gets people going, oh wow, I have to like really give him exactly what he's looking for, this big answer, this perfect thing. When you asked an assumptive question, is there a place there? It enables her to go, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but let me tell you what it was like for me in my own way. Usually Craig is a lot more specific with his assumptive questions. This was more of a joke. He'll usually ask something like, was there a building with like a big green man and he was chopping wood like this? Was the place that you were right across the street from there? Because that's where I was. When he does that, it gets the person going, well, no. So I want to tell him what it really was. Assumptive questions are so great in this way.
So, you like oranges then, clearly?
Clearly. I know. I hate fruit. It's a weird...
So another assumptive question. So you like oranges, clearly. I mean, it's formed in an assumptive statement, but basically the point of it is asking her, do you like oranges? Once again, that forces her to pull out her individual side and go, well, let me tell you how I feel about oranges. People like to explain themselves when there is an assumption made about them.
Fruit, it's a weird thing. I hate fruit.
Really?
Insanely. I don't know.
Why? How could you hate fruit? That's ridiculous. Like all fruit or just oranges?
No, like all fruit. I'm a little obsessed. I have a little like OCD things that happen.
So what do you...
You know, it's sad because during the pandemic, people weren't able to go on dates. They weren't able to go out and meet each other in person, which is the most fun way to meet people. But online dating was a place where people were able to like sneak a few dates here and there. But still, I feel like as online dating keeps getting more and more popular, nobody is getting better at it. In fact, I think it's actually getting more difficult. That's why I created a free online dating class so you can click the link in the description and get it. It teaches you the one change you need to make to your online dating approach, which gives you only dates that you're attracted to. Also, at the end of the short 25-minute class, I give you an opportunity to get my full online dating class, the big hungamonga, at a quite sizable discount, like a really big sizable discount. But you could actually only get the discount when you click the link, when you actually take that free online dating class. Let's click it at the end of the video. Let's keep watching Craigie Craig.
What do you eat then? Are you one of those weird
What do you mean,
people?
like, what do you eat? I eat meat.
What do you mean?
Potatoes.
Oh, I mean exactly what I say. Like, because, you know, if you don't eat fruit, which is the LA actress staple, then what do you eat?
Well, don't everybody have like a glycemic thing with fruit or something? I eat meat and potatoes and like good like southern cooking and
Really?
you know, yeah. I eat
Southern cooking?
Yeah.
Like Paula Dean?
Like
yeah. When did you come?
So what Craig often likes to do is get out the person's weird, deviant, fucked up side that is not usually socially acceptable. He knows that when anybody goes on to a late night show, they have to be perfect, pristine, talk about their family, talk about their house, come off as the perfect individual. Craig hates that. That's not his personality. That's not what his show is about. That's why whenever he starts an interview, he rips up the cards. And guess what? He makes sure that the producer actually writes questions on those cards every time, because that is a symbol of the fact that Craig wants it real. He wants the real person, not just the shiny, new, pretty plastic side. He wants the weird side, the fucked up side, the funny side, the unacceptable side. And so he invites that out. That's why he mentioned, oh, Southern cooking. You mean like Paula Dean? He's just egging her on, trying to bring out that deviant side of her. That enables two people to know if they actually like each other. When you're hiding your deviant side, which is basically deviant is just another word for the side of you that is not super socially acceptable. The stuff that you wouldn't usually talk about on a late night talk show or on a job interview or with a stranger for fear of being judged. But Craig doesn't judge anybody. He wants to bring out all of those sides of people, which gets them more comfortable, which gets them being more themselves. This is what I talk about as the best friend dynamic. When you're with your best friend, all bets are off the table. You guys can act however you want with each other. There's no rules, there's no holding back. And this is when two people could have the strongest chemistry. This is how Craig usually gets the best interviews with people, the best interactions with people, because he's drawing out that side that people are usually not seeing in them, and that person is usually too scared to bring out. But everybody has. Everybody has a normal side. Everyone has a deviant side.
I actually finished my degree in Milan, so I'm
Good for you. What's your degree in?
Marketing Internazionale.
I see. I didn't understand that. I don't... So, international marketing? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
It means...
Is that a spy related?
Yeah.
I'm an
Once again, another assumptive question. It's playful, it's imaginative, it gets the person thinking about things. So what he's doing right now is he's getting a role play set up with her. Is that a spy type of thing? And then what he's gonna do right now is he's gonna act like a spy, assuming that this is how she acted when she was in Milan. Once again, from the start, he's being playful. Do you see any late night hosts who do that with any of their guests? He's doing it before they even sit down. This is so important because when they sit down, now there's going to be a vibe between them.
Well, have you got any plans beyond that?
Um,
Because I'm out of a job too. I just wondered if you wanted to go on a crime spree or something.
what do you have in mind?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't...
I'm available.
So what Craig is doing is, and he usually does this, is he comes up with some sort of improv scene between the two of them, always getting playful, always bringing up some sort of role play. Now, when the person jumps in and starts doing it with him, he adds on to it, and that's the rule of improv. Yes, and take whatever the person said and then add on to it with them. Now, I imagine what's about to happen right here with Inbar. She just said, I'm available, as she started like rubbing her lip, which a lot of people would see as some sort of little sexual innuendo. Craig, he takes any sexual innuendo he could find and he always brings it out in the open. Once again, bringing out the deviant side of people, bringing out the fun of people, and it also brings out the sexual chemistry of two people.
We'll talk.
Yeah, I think I just kind of freaked myself out there.
So when he usually does it, he doesn't always make it so annoyingly out in the open. He usually goes with the implication, but he's still bringing it into the open. This creates tension. Instead of her doing this and somebody going, oh, I saw you did that. Does that mean that you wanna blah, 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 blah? Which is really gross. It kills the tension. It doesn't make things exciting between two people. But when somebody brings up some sort of light sexual innuendo, whether they know it or not, and you acknowledge it in an implicit way, that builds tension, especially when you acknowledge it and then move on to something else.
Which part of Israel are you from?
Holon?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Is it? Do you know it?
No,
Exactly. I didn't think so.
So another thing that Craig often does, and this is just the basics of comedy, guys. This is nothing mind-blowing, but Craig is so great at the basics. It's a lie, and then you take it back. It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be something amazing that you thought of. If she says a city that she grew up in, Craig goes, oh yeah, I know that. And she goes, really? And you go, actually, no. That's all it takes. Little lies here where you take it back is just the basics of humor. You could use this anywhere you'd like.
So where did you go to first?
I went to New York first.
Yes, that's where I went first too.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
You first.
Well, I went there because I was a naive girl from Israel who had big dreams and wanted to make it in the Big Apple, and...
Yep, about the same as me then, really, yeah. I was a naive girl from Scotland with big dreams.
And look at you now.
Yeah, well,
With a
not
horse.
everybody wins. That's the way it is.
Another thing that Craig does quite often is something called disqualification. He likes to disqualify himself from coming off as attractive or valuable or liked. This is the opposite of the whole alpha male fucking red pill movement where you're trying to actively come off high value. Craig likes to disqualify himself by making fun of himself, self-deprecating jokes. This is another way to also get that person to relax. The more you are trying to show how great you are, it only intimidates the other person. The last thing you wanna fucking do in an interaction with anybody is to intimidate them. Yes, it may get them to feel intimidated by you. It may get them to even think that you're a hot shot, but it will never get them feeling attracted to you. There's a big difference between intimidation and attraction. Attraction happens when two people are having a really strong connection, lots of chemistry involved. They feel so comfortable around each other to be their real selves, and then they express their attraction in each other. That's all it takes, guys. You don't have to work to come off so big and cool, because guess what? If you are big and cool, it'll already be apparent.
Especially, I noticed, if you waiting tables, the swankier the restaurant, the more sashimi eat there. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And they don't tip either, especially when you yell at them.
Well, I have boobs. Well, yeah, but you know, I have boobs, so.
You do.
I got some nice tips. I don't know about you.
What do I say?
Right? They know.
So right here is what Craig does often, which is a misinterpretation. He usually is misinterpreting something sexual. Once again, sexual innuendos, double entendres, they're fun to do. They're okay to do on a first date or when you're flirting with somebody, as long as it's in a dynamic where that is expected. You don't do it with a work buddy. You don't do it on a job interview or anything like that. You do it on a first date, you do it at a party, you do it at a bar, where people are expected to have more fun, show a little more of their deviant side. But again, Craig isn't diving head first when he notices something like this. He plays into the implication. Again, builds tension.
I just watched a lot of movies.
Oh, right,
That's
yeah.
how I learned most of my English.
Yeah, really? From movies?
Yeah, I watched American cinema. Like,
That's a good idea. That's how I should learn it.
yeah.
Well, I'm actually from Israel too. I just watched Braveheart over and over and over.
Well, it paid off.
So another joke that Craig made, it's a simple joke. It's nothing crazy. But again, he lies and he takes it back. Quite often, the lie is so simple that he just agrees with what the person's experience is as his own.
Did you just smell your finger? May I?
Yeah, so I could watch Craig videos for hours and hours, and I could keep analyzing deeper and deeper. So if we get this video to only 50,000 views, I shall do a part 2 for youps, sir. Meanwhile, guess what, motherfricker? I started a new live streaming podcast called Betas. Betas happens every Tuesday and Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. I answer your questions live on Zoom. I actually even put my viewers, my subscribers, you guys, up on a little Zoom call and call it a mock date and have you guys do a little date together while I coach you through it. We do a lot of fun things there. We roast alpha males, red pillars, while at the same time watching a lot of videos and learning a lot of healthy ways that are actually effective for getting into relationships with people that you're interested in. Or relationships could mean anything. I mean, you can get into a long-term intimate relationship, or it could mean a friendship, or it could just mean a hookup for the weekend or whatever. It's a place for me to actually build this community with all of you guys. A community that's actually interested in social skills and relationships, having more confidence, being a happier person in general, without the toxic psychopathic shit that's basically everywhere else on the internet. I don't know why it's there. I don't know why the only people that talk about dating and relationships are fucking psychopaths. But you could have a place where hopefully you don't think I'm psychopath and we can hang out, learn stuff together. Anyway, betas, you can click the link for my new channel in there in the description. Subscribe, put on all notifications, by the way, because when I go live is when I actually want you to be there. It's okay if you watch it afterwards, if you live in like Australia or something, or India or wherever, but the fun part is when you're there live with everyone else and the chat is flowing and we're just going back and forth at each other. Anyway, oh yeah, and if you wanted to watch the free online dating class, you can do it now by clicking that link in the descriptiones. Tony's. That's my name for you guys.